We're here because free speech is under attack. We're here because people are being convinced that socialism works. We're here because people are being judged guilty until proven innocent. We are fighting back with facts. This is not a safe zone, so buckle up, Buttercup. This is the raw, naked truth.
Welcome to the Raw Naked Truth. I'm your host, Eric Lopkin, and here's what's happening. The Department of Homeland Security has established the Disinformation Governance Board. Officially, the board will, quote, coordinate countering misinformation related to Homeland Security, focused specifically on irregular migration and Russia. Critics have begun referring to the board as the Ministry of Truth after the agency in the George Orwell novel 1984. That description was reinforced by the appointment of Nina Jankowicz as executive director of the board. Jankowicz disseminated information contained in the debunked Christopher Steele dossier and repeatedly downplayed the Hunter Biden laptop story with claims that it was part of a foreign interference campaign. She even described the laptop hard drive, which has been repeatedly authenticated, as a Trump campaign product. The question remains, why was this announced the same week that Elon Musk bought Twitter in an effort to bring freedom of speech to the platform, and how they're going to investigate claims during the November election? Businesses have had problems convincing their workforces to return to the office, but Apple's woke workforce has gone so far as to label being required to work in the office as racist. 200 Apple employees wrote an open letter on Friday condemning the company's choice to bring staffers back to its offices. They wrote that the decision to bring employees back to the office was not motivated by a need to continue in person, as Tim Cook wrote in his letter to staff, but rather was driven by the company's fear of the future of work, fear of worker autonomy, and fear of losing control. The group further stated that the shift back to an in-person model will make the company younger, whiter, and more male-dominated. Quote, it will lead to privileges deciding who can work for Apple, not who'd be the best fit. Privileges like being born in the right place so you don't have to relocate, or being young enough to start a new life in a new city or country, or having a stay-at-home spouse who will move with you, and privileges like being born into a gender that society doesn't expect the majority of care work from, so it's easy to disappear into an office all day without doing your fair share of unpaid work in society, or being rich enough to pay others to do your care work for you. Unquote. Apple has kowtowed to the woke in recent days by unveiling emojis of pregnant men. There doesn't seem to be any indication of whether Apple will repeal their work in the office policy, which requires people to work at least 3 days in the office by the end of May. Warren Buffett took on Bitcoin at the Berkshire Hathaway annual meeting. Reiterating his skepticism about cybercurrency, he said at the shareholders' meeting Saturday that it's not a productive asset and it doesn't produce anything tangible. Despite a shift in public perception about Bitcoin, Buffett still wouldn't buy it. Cryptocurrencies lack the intrinsic value of commodities. Commodities are used to make and build things and are useful regardless of their investment value. Currencies are backed by the country of their origin, which cybercurrencies are not. The recent decision by Amazon workers in a New York warehouse to unionize may be denied. Amazon's objections to a landmark union election at a company warehouse in New York City justify a hearing that could overturn the result, according to a U.S. National Labor Relations Board official. The online retailer has accused the NLRB's Brooklyn office of appearing to support the union drive and alleged that labor organizers intimidated workers to vote in their favor. Citing the Brooklyn office's conduct, Amazon secured the case's transfer to the NLRB's Phoenix-based region. That office's director said the evidence behind Amazon's claims could be grounds for overturning the election. Finally, Naomi Judd, the Kentucky-born singer of the Grammy-winning duo The Judge and mother of Wynonna and Ashley Judd, died Saturday, one day before being inducted into the Country Music Hall of Fame. She was 76. That's the Raw Naked Truth. You can catch every episode of the Raw Naked Truth, as well as the rest of the Xvadio Podcast Network, at xvadio.com/podcasts, the Apple Podcast app, Google Podcasts, Spotify, iHeartRadio, Stitcher, Amazon Music, Audible, and wherever you find podcasts. We'll see you next time.